Okay, friends, welcome back this week to episode 103. Um,
Hello.
we are,
You're over Zoom,
yes.
unfortunately. As you
See,
can see if you watch us.
yeah, if you watch us, it'll be easy to see. But those of you who listen to us, we are separated because beautiful Karyn has the Ronas.
Yay.
So I don't really feel like getting it,
Yeah,
and I don't think she wants to give it to me. So
I don't want to give it to anyone. No, It's been pretty miserable week, but I'm starting to feel human again, so that's good.
yes. And isn't it great? Karyn still looks beautiful even when she's super sick. So
It's
congrats
amazing
on
what
that.
lipstick and mascara can do.
Putting on a nice colored shirt, all of a sudden you
Yeah,
look
I
ready.
was laughing this morning that I haven't worn makeup or done my hair in over a week. I was like, hey, it might feel kind of nice to look like a person again.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But like probably why your skin looks so fresh. I noticed last year when we were like really deep quarantining, I didn't wear makeup for months. And I was like, my skin is fabulous. Like I should probably
Yeah.
do this more often. So
Yeah.
today is a very special episode. And I'm so sad that we're not doing this together. But we are talking about following your call, following your journey. A
Yeah.
few episodes back, I guess it was me, Karyn, I can't remember. I think I was just by myself, right? On the heroine's
The
journey.
heroine's journey. Yes.
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 Karyn was wrapping up her book, I believe.
That is what I was doing. I was
Yes. I was
finishing.
like,
I
where
had
were you?
a couple of days left till my book deadline and I just had no time.
Yeah. So
So
episode
I did it now.
99 was the
Yeah.
heroine's journey and talking about when we feel this call and then the journey that ladies go through of as they embark on this adventure of stepping into this call.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about my journey today
Mhm.
because new things are coming in both of our lives. And so we just want to kind of dive in a little bit to this journey, and I love that we all just have different journeys in our lives, different callings, and that's kind of a play on the title of this podcast called To Homeschool. But our lives are just these amazing adventures, and there's so many turns. And I remember when I was a kid, my dad, when we would go on road trips, every time we'd turn a corner, he'd say vista vista, look at the view. Like he'd have us look at the view, and it always made me laugh. But I think about that all the time in like my own life now, because I'm like, oh, there's a new view, a new vista. And I feel like right now that's kind of where my life is, and Megan's too, because big announcement, we're going to be separating. We're
We
breaking
broke
up.
up.
We're breaking up. No, we say that jokingly because we're not breaking up our friendship. That will
Right.
never happen. But we are going to stop doing the podcast together. And Megan's going to be taking it on her own. And moving forward, it'll just be her. And nothing bad has happened between us.
Right.
There's no like hard feelings. Nothing there has happened. It's just that sometimes in our lives, we feel like our paths need to go different directions. And it's been interesting because both of us, kind of at the same time, independently, came to the same feelings about this podcast that for some reason, it needed to change. And Megan's going to continue, and I'm not. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little different. And she's going to do such a phenomenal job keeping it up and doing her awesome life coaching that she does. She's so talented. So I know it's still going to be so incredible. But I kind of want to talk about just kind of life journeys and the directions that they take. And like Meg mentioned, the heroine's journey, that podcast that she talked about in, what did you say, 99?
Uh-huh.
It's really inspired me and helped me kind of recognize my own paths through life. And what I love about our Call to Homeschool podcast that we've been doing is that we focus on one of these journeys in our lives. We focus on this calling that we have felt, Megan and I, and so many of you that listen, to homeschool. And homeschooling has been such a huge part of both of our lives. I don't know how many years I've been doing it now. My son was 3 when I started researching, and he's 16. So 13 years, but I don't know. It's been my life focus, honestly, because it becomes your whole life as you become a homeschool mom. It's what you think about. It's what you focus your whole life on. I didn't really plan on my life going this direction. But because of homeschooling, I've had so many amazing adventures, and the things that I've learned and the things that I've experienced because of homeschooling have just been such a huge blessing in my life. And I'm blessed beyond measure to have homeschooled all these years, for the friendships I've made, for the things that I've learned, for the relationships we've built. And Megan and I have talked about that in so many episodes, the benefits of it. I feel like right now, with the way the world is changing, those benefits have become even more clear. Just how great it can be to have your family close. And homeschooling led me to the desire to share this passion with others through my blog. And blogging started as just this fun little hobby and creative outlet. And having a teaching degree, I've always loved that, teaching in general. And so I loved having just the passion to create and share, and that turned into a business. And I excuse me, hopefully I won't start hacking on you guys.
So you're crying or coughing, either way is fine.
It's a cough right now, unfortunately, but it led me to learn how to run a business, which wasn't something I expected either, which also led me to be a published author, which is so exciting. Which, by the way, another little side note, I have my second book. It's called Science, Art, and Drawing Games for Kids, and it is in pre-sale now. So you can find that on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or wherever books are sold, and you can order that now. So that's super exciting. Anyway, so it's led me to that journey. It's led me to meet so many really awesome people through blogging, the audiences that I've been able to connect with, and other bloggers all around the world that I've been able to meet. It's so exciting and so cool. It's also led me to start this podcast, which has been such a cool journey for me as well. Megan and I felt the call to do this together. And I think we had an episode where we talked about this as well, where I felt inspired to do a podcast, but I was too afraid to do it alone.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that Megan gave me courage to do it with her, and to do something that's out of my comfort zone. And it's been so amazing. And we're over 100 episodes now, and 2 years in, and it's just been such a great journey. And just like every journey in life, sometimes we feel a call to pivot and to change course and go on some new adventures. Right now, this is a pivot point for me, and I don't really know where my life is going next. And that's kind of the funny thing, is because I feel like I need to change some things in my life, but I don't know what the next steps are going to be yet. But one thing I've really felt strongly is that it is the right choice for me. And feels like the end of an era, right?
I guess we should clarify that Karyn is still homeschooling.
Oh yeah, I'm still homeschooling. I'm still currently blogging. Right now, the podcast is something I need to move on from, and I may change things with the blog down the road too. But right now, that's a first step in my new journey. Maybe Megan will invite me back once in a while to say hey, but
never.
But I was thinking about how in your life, sometimes God just gives you these little nudges, and he's pushing you, and he's like, you need to go this way, you need to go this way. And you're like, wait, that's not right. This is comfortable, and so sometimes it's taking this step out of that comfort zone, which I just said, this was out of my comfort zone initially. Right. And so now I'm being pushed out of this comfort zone into something new. And this is one of those little nudges that I'm kind of being pushed right now to pull back a little on my business and focus more on my kids and be more present with them. And that's a huge thing that I'm feeling right now is really important to me. And sometimes you don't know why they're happening. And then you get a year down the road and you look back and you see, aha, that is the reason. And that's what this was for. And so next year, maybe I'll have some more answers for you. Yeah. Or next month, or who knows what.
Well, it's interesting too, when you get onto that path, when we talked about the heroine's journey, and step 3 is the why, right? The 2 forks in the road. And one is to continue on the path that you've been on, which feels comfortable. Even if it's dark and dirty and whatever, it's comfortable, right? But you'll never have peace on that path, because you'll always know what would have happened if I would have gone on that mountain. What
Yeah.
would have happened had I gone on this journey? Like, what would I have become? What would have I experienced? And so, even though it's not comfortable in the beginning, as you reach the vista, the view, the end, the top point, like there's peace there.
Mhm.
And so it's so beautiful. Like,
I love that. And I think that's so true. Like with where I've been at lately, I've felt really unsettled with like my business and with the way things have been going. And I've talked to Megan a lot about this where I'm like, I don't know why I feel this way. But when I listened to that episode about the heroine's journey, I think I texted and I was like, that's where I'm at. I'm at the gate. I'm at that point where I need to like choose, is it this way or this way? And I don't know why, and I don't know what's at the end of that path, but it's a beautiful thing that that we can receive those pushes and those nudges to know that something's coming and something's changing in your life. And I love that no matter where the path leads you, it always ends up with just something beautiful. So I kind of want to tie this into homeschooling a little bit because hey, this is called the homeschool. But I was thinking about this in terms of homeschooling, and those of you that are listening, I want you to think about those little nudges that you're feeling in your home and in your family, because we all have them. We're moms, we're parents, we're, you know, and a lot of you are members of a faith where you feel those things as well, where you're pushed in a certain direction. And I want you to think about those nudges that you're having in your life and where is God trying to push you and lead you right now. Maybe it's to start homeschooling if you're just brand new. Maybe you already are and feeling like you need to change the way you're homeschooling. That's something I've gone through a lot in the last little year or two, is changing the type of homeschooling that I do. Maybe it's focusing more on like a heart-centered education, less rigorous, or vice versa, maybe more. It just depending on what your kids are needing right now. But I love that we feel those things as parents, and we know that, you know, that our kids need something more from us or something different from us. And so I would just want to encourage you guys to think about that. What are you feeling in your life, and what's that new pivot or direction that you might need to go in your home and your family?
yeah, I
I'm
think
also
we all do that, right? Like
yeah.
our own journey, we started what 13ish years ago, and the
Mhm.
feeling we had and the call we felt, and as we've progressed, right? And how much has changed. And
Yeah.
it was so funny because who was it that's like, if you homeschool, do you have to have a blog? Didn't somebody ask you that one time? Like, is that a prerequisite of homeschooling? And like, I never wanted to have a homeschool business and all these things. And it's so interesting of
Mhm.
like nudges and pushes I felt. And it's been interesting too now where I really am only homeschooling one kid and the
Mhm.
rest are independent learners. And my 3-year-old, I really am just letting him explore and play. And if he brings me something, then we do it. And he participates with us. But I have so much more bandwidth now. And now
Yeah.
I'm at this place where I actually can coach people and can help people because so many of my kids are independent learners.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so cool. Um, I just want to like promise you guys that God speaks to us through these little feelings and nudges. And so just listen to him. Be aware. He's aware of us and our lives, and he wants us to have full and rich and beautiful lives. And I feel like when I do, my path is so bright and full, and sometimes we wander through really hard things on our paths, like we go through treacherous mountains or have to cross rivers or whatever those hard things might be in your life. We're going to have to go through those. They're going to be confusing and we're going to be unclear, but we'll end up with these beautiful views and with awesome things that we didn't expect in our lives that better us in so many ways. And I always think of like, you know, the hardships that you go through, that when you're in the thick of it, you hate it and you don't want it. You want to get rid of it. But when you're looking back, you see how much you grew from that and how much change and how much better you are because of it. And so I love every step of this way of my homeschooling journey, and doing this podcast and this business has made me a stronger and a better person in so many ways. And so I'm grateful for this incredible journey that I've gotten to go on.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
that,
no, sorry, go ahead.
no, just I just love that our paths intertwined,
Me too.
right? Like Karyn couldn't
Yes.
come to co-op last week, obviously, when she's got the Ronas. And so it was just like, oh, she wasn't there. And like her son dropped off her supplies at my house, and it was like, oh, right? Like,
I thought about that too, like, because as I was writing this up, I was thinking about the people that I've been blessed to meet because of homeschooling, and you included. And I think of the group of women, that we get to surround ourselves with because of this co-op that we've joined, and because of homeschooling, how much better our lives have been. It's beautiful.
yeah, it really, we were talking about this morning with our scripture study. We were studying the Doctrine and Covenants, and they were talking about these first missionaries. And they were saying the fifth companion was the Savior, right?
Mm.
And the 5 people we surround ourselves with. And is the Savior one of those people? But that made me start thinking about the people I've surrounded myself with.
Yeah.
And the girlfriends and these relationships that have come from homeschooling, and how much they're a part of my life, and how much they're helping me to become such a better person.
Yeah, they've changed me, truly, and it's so cool.
Well, I think too is, even like as our kids are getting older, I got to coach one of our girlfriends' teens yesterday.
Mhm.
And it was interesting because her mom had told me her perspective. And then the teen texted me and said, can I come and get coached? And I just love that, like, our teenagers' paths are also crossing with these amazing humans that I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, handpick Karyn's kids. Yes. Handpick your
Right.
kids. Yes. And like,
Yeah.
these are who my children are surrounded with, and the type of people that they're interacting with.
Yeah, I feel like I couldn't have picked better friends for my kids. It's
Right.
awesome. So this kind of short and sweet, but just I don't know what new adventure I'm going on, or what reason I'm feeling called to simplify and change my focus. Um, but I do know that it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. And I'm excited for Megan and her new journey with taking this on, and for her growing business, because she is doing such awesome things for homeschool moms. And so I wish you the best of luck in your next
Thanks.
steps. And I'm going to miss this. I love it. And I
Yeah.
love just connecting with all of you guys, my listeners, our listeners. And it's been a wonderful journey.
Yeah. Okay. So what is, to leave like on a high note, what has been
Okay.
one of your most favorite homeschool memories?
Hmm. That's hard.
Oh,
There's so many. What has been the best part of your last 13 years?
yeah.
No,
Like, it's
I
like some of your highlights of it.
I just love the simple moments of, like, when your kids are just surrounding you and you're just kind of cuddled up and reading. We have so many just like happy reading moments, or like the moments where there's just such joy of like reading in the backyard, like doing something a little different like that. Like, those sound so nothing, but those are like, when I think of happy homeschool moments, those are the moments I think of. Just like my kids surrounding me, we're happy, we're joyful, or we're doing a fun craft or science project together. I don't know. It's nothing very specific, but I feel like that's what brings me great joy.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun as I've been just asking some of my big kids what have their favorite memories, and it's always stuff like that. Like the
Yeah,
simple stuff, the fun stuff, the
the
silly
field
stuff.
trip. Yeah, it's good. I like our lifestyle.
Hmm.
Makes me happy.
Yeah. The family gets to be the focus.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, friends, this is a sad but like awesome episode because we love Karyn so much. And I was so excited because I was getting a present, but she's not even at my house, to say, like, thank you. This has been such a fun journey, because you guys have no idea how great it is. Not only is she my friend, but to do this as a working together. So
Yeah.
we all love you, Karyn, and send her tons and tons of love, and go buy her new book, because how awesome is Karyn that she now has 2 books. This is so
Yay.
fantastic. So the podcast will still be called Call to Homeschool, but it'll only be my mug and not Karyn's lovely face. So so next week you'll just be with Meg, and please send Karyn warm wishes and send DMs of what you've just loved about her, and let's all just fill her message inbox full of why we love Karyn, and know
It'll
that
probably
Karyn and
make me cry.
I know it will. I think
Sorry.
you're crying just thinking about it.
Me too, a little bit. Holding it back today.
Yeah. Like Karyn,
That's
just like to let you guys know, Karyn and I are still friends. And
Yes.
this is just the end of the podcast together, but not actual friendship.
awesome. We're still almost neighbors. We'll see each other all the time. Our kids will
Yes.
probably go on dates.
Yes, when your kids can get out of quarantine, then they can hang out again.
We're almost there. A couple more days.
Yeah. Okay, so we love you guys and thank you. And hopefully you'll continue on this journey with me with the podcast. And thanks, Karyn, for the awesome last 2 years.
Bye-bye.